Hi, everyone. Welcome to Power of Attorney. I am your host, Latanya Moore, and I'm excited about today's show. We have Kate Frank. Kate is absolutely amazing. I'm going to actually bring her up right now. Kate, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, Latanya. Thank you for inviting me.
Awesome. So before I jump right in, tell our audience about who you are and what you do.
What I do is a process of taking the ideas and the concepts and the actual voice of future authors and get it into a book without them having to write it. I act more like a scribe by giving them the opportunity to write a book without slowing down their business.
Awesome. One of the things, guys, that I love so much about Kate is that not only does she do this, she does have a 10-step process, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. Kate, you talk about something about you talk about there being so many books that are published ready, but they're not happening. Talk with us a little bit about what is that and how does that work?
I've even developed a graphic. I haven't figured out where to put it. But the truth is, I would say 98% of the nonfiction books out there are, the author downloads their information, and I can talk about that because they make a lot of mistakes right there. But once the book is published, then they go, oh, they're not coming to buy my book. What do I do to market it? And that is so backwards, so backwards. Because of my background in marketing, it dawned on me that I can tell people how I write differently all day long, and they're not going to get it. They're not going to understand the value of it. But when I tell them how to market their book and to get that marketing in place before the book's ever written, they get it. They understand that.
Awesome, awesome. I love it. Now, the good thing about this is that I know a lot of us, we have a story that has not been told. I would say
Mhm.
probably 99% of the people have a story that's not been told. How do you take people from having a story that has not been told to, first of all, being willing to tell their story and then getting that story to the marketplace?
If they aren't willing to tell their story, then when I was in real estate, I used to have a coach, and he said you should ABCD your database. And A's are people that are ready to go. C's are new people into your database. B's are warming up. D's are the most important. They're the ones that you delete from your database. So if they're not interested in sharing their story, it's real easy. Good luck, bye bye now. I just don't spend time with them. And most people come to me pretty well, at least at the B level, because, like you said, according to surveys in America, something like 94% of people believe they have a book in them. Now, that includes fiction and nonfiction, but still, when I see people that are movers and shakers and are doing things, every single one of them need a book. So what I try to do is just be out there when they're ready. And then they come to me and we start talking about how to make it happen. And most people are trying to make it too complicated. They don't have time. They don't know how to organize their book. They don't know how to make it. They doubt whether anybody would read it. All these reasons why they haven't written their book. So they're procrastinating it. And, I can guide them along that way, but essentially, it's a matter of them getting to that place that they understand that what they have to share with the world is going to make a difference in other people's lives. I mean, they're already making a difference in other people's lives, but they're doing it on a small scale. They're doing it with the people that they meet, the people that they speak to, the people that they mentor, the people that they supervise. They're making a difference in people's lives. But when they have a book that they've authored, then the scope of that, the sphere that they're able to influence is huge comparatively. And then we can talk about how to then leverage that and make it even bigger.
Awesome, awesome. I love it. So, as I mentioned earlier, you have a 10-step process. Now, guys, she's not going to share the entire 10-step process today. You really have to connect with her to get them all. What would you say, Kate, are the top two? I know they're all equally important, but what are two that you would like to share with our audience today?
Well, I would combine step one and step two and talk about the fact that, or actually, let's say step one we'll leave alone in the fact that it's all about, if you have 2 to 3 books in you, and most people have at least that much, then you need to very carefully decide what goes in that first book. So I suggest a complete expertise inventory. Get it all. I like 3x5 cards. I mean, if you use a 3x5 card and you even color code them like I do, then you can start sorting all this information that you have. And then on 2 and 3, it's a matter of looking at who's hungry for that information. Every day you run across people that are interested in your information. So what do they look like? What's their persona? And then target it to the book will be written for that audience. Your book will be better because we've figured that out. And then the third would be that you figure out how you're going to make revenue from that book once it's published. And if your listeners want, just let me know and I will send them a PDF that has 12 sources of revenue for authors. It's not rocket science, but there's an awful lot of people out there that don't really realize that there's so much more than just writing a book.
Awesome. What is one piece of advice that you would give to the people that, let's say your B people, right? They know that they have a story and they just haven't done it. What advice would you give that person?
To start doing what I've already talked about. Start doing the inventory. Get out the 3x5 cards, or if you're a digital person, start recording it in Evernote or whatever you use. But eventually, if you put it in a digital source, unless there's technology that I don't understand, which is an extreme possibility, but what I like about 3x5 cards is they're easy to manage. They're easy to sort. They're easy to lay in piles. And when you're doing an inventory about what you know, then you really don't, I won't say what you will do. I'm not able to sort what is important and what belongs in what pile as those ideas are coming. Because when you're not ready to write a book, you're in a place, and you have one, which most people do, then what's going on is you've got all this clutter going on in your mind. It's just in the background. You're always thinking about it and you're doing nothing with it. And any time management person will tell you that you need to reduce it to paper. My first broker when I was 25 years old said that I needed to reduce everything to paper because I was too creative to not do it. Now, isn't that a nice backhanded compliment? But, when you try to keep things in your head, or you try to not have things in your head, if you're trying to avoid the book, then it's weighing you down. It's affecting your ability to be good at the things you are doing. So, write it down. When you talk to somebody and you make a difference in their life, write down the persona of them. Who were they? Where did they come from? What kind of work do they do? What was their problem? Just little notes. Don't write anything out because that's scary for most people to actually start writing. So don't do it. Just don't do it. Just do the inventory, and the inventory of your target clients, their target communities, and the ideas. If you just have all that gathered up, it may take you a couple of weeks to decide you're ready. It may take you years to decide you're ready. But if you've got the inventory, that's valuable to you.
Awesome, awesome. Great advice, Kate. Thank you so much. Let our audience know how they can connect with you.
The best way to reach me is by email, and that is kate@authorityredefined.com. And just to remember that I believe that every single person that is an authority in their field needs to redefine it by becoming a book author. So kate@authorityredefined.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kate, for being here with Power of Attorney. I'm going to encourage all of my viewers and listeners with a book inside of you to reach out to Kate so that she can pull that thing out and get you on your way. Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome.